And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. This quote is from U.S. President John F. Kennedy's inaugural address. In essence, what President Kennedy is saying here was this: our obligation to give should be stronger than our need to receive. I agree wholeheartedly with JFK here, as he is the second best president I know, only behind Gilman, former senior class president, Brenner Coulter Enright, who ruled with an iron fist from September of 2022 to May of 2023. We should give more than we get. And that's why my remarks today will focus solely not on what Gilman has given me, but rather what I have given to Gilman. Get comfortable, my friends. You will be here for a while, because I have given Gilman, and thus you, a lot. This school prides itself on honor, integrity. You know what they are. Today, I will usher in the code which I have lived by all these years and has resulted in all this personal giving. Gilman Upper School, I give you the Sawyer 6. The Sawyer 6 was crafted by me over 12 years at Gilman. And while the idea is all mine, all of you have had a role in shaping these critically important aspects of this mantra. So listen and learn. Number one, great things often come in small packages, or small but mighty. Obviously, I'm talking about me here. As many of you may remember, I was not always this chiseled piece of Greek god-like material you see today. Similar to Grayson, I watched everyone around me grow, while I did not, literally. Here I am next to my great-uncle Brian Checkley. I'm the one on the left. However, on the bright side, as a child, I could fit into most places people couldn't. And I was often used as a decoration around my house. But I didn't let my small stature keep me from doing the things I loved. Once again, I'm the one on the left. But guess whose goal we're celebrating in this photo? Schline's. Keep this in mind for all you kids out there that may be small, but not yet mighty. When I was 11 years old, I wrestled in a tournament, weighing in at only 70 pounds. Arthur Konchak was in the same tournament, just a different weight class. As a 9-year-old, he weighed at 128 pounds. To put this in better context, I weighed 128 pounds as a 17-year-old junior in high school. To put this in even better context, here's me as a 9-year-old. But guess who grew up and became a state champ? Congrats, Art. Number two, dress for success. I've known since a young age not only the importance of fashion, but in choosing your own look. Have I been afraid to take risks with my outfits? No. You may see me walking around campus with rolled up khaki pants or my bright red barstool hat looking like Where's Waldo. At Gilman, conformity to a dress code has been required, and I was willing to play that game. But you can't hide who you are. So let your swag out, and when it's time to celebrate, remember the saying, clothes make the man. But remember, that quote can quickly change. Clothes make the man ridiculous. Number three, good communication is key. As all of you who speak with me on a regular basis know, while I do not talk too much, when I do, I'm an excellent communicator. It's a shame that Snapchats are not kept forever, because my responses there are legendary. My texts are equally as good. After a golf match this April, my dad texted me asking how my round had gone, since he had to leave before the match was over. This is a prime example of how effective communication does not have to be lengthy. Admittedly, however, I am not immune to making mistakes with my written communications, as evident by my 6th grade afternoon schedule. where I stated I had 30 minutes planned to practice lacrosse, but 50 minutes planned to do meth. I think I meant to say math. Truth be told, that is 50 more minutes than I usually spend on homework, so. While my written communication skills may need some work, my communication skills in a foreign language more than make up for this deficiency. Thank you to Senor Leon.
If you're a hecho electrocerebro, you can't say that. Los parceros.
That took us 2 classes and more attempts than we should have taken. So whether you're speaking or writing English or Spanish, remember, it's okay to be brief and concise, but you may want to proofread or think before you speak to ensure all is correct. Number 3, pain is gain. It will certainly come as no surprise to any of you that in order to have great success, you will need to overcome challenges along the way. Ultimately, that struggle simply makes us stronger. Pain is gain, friends. And to possess the kind of strength I have, blood had to be shed. My gain through pain started early, and much of that can be contributed to the fact that most of my opponents in sports were simply much, much bigger than me. Also, I wasn't immune to falling face first on the playground occasionally either. This is the aftermath of me trying to play kick the can with a water bottle, plastic water bottle. You should have seen the water bottle. In order to really profit from my pain is gain philosophy, I humbly suggest you get rid of any sense of modesty you have, put on a singlet, and join the wrestling team. Wrestling requires dedication, builds character, and if you're only so at it, you'll get your face rearranged. Literally. Now, trainers can fix some things, but that doesn't always make for the best look. But be careful, because if you complain too much about a job a trainer does, their next step is to tape your mouth shut, even during a match. However, occasionally pain can provide big benefits almost immediately. Hypothetically, let's say you were on a 4-day hiking trip with classmates in which you were going to sleep outside, poop in the woods, and be fed nothing but lentils. That would seem to be the perfect opportunity for a fall, 32 stitches, and a one-way ticket to a 4-day stay-at-home vacation. You can see Michael is jealous he didn't think of it first. As I said, no pain, no gain. Number 5, to be a work of art, you must embrace the arts. I'm pleased that the Gilman 5 recognizes the importance of striving for excellence in everything we do, and includes the arts in that. But the Sawyer 6 goes deeper here. To be a work of art, you must fully embrace the arts. For me, this is my deep and overwhelming love of literature. I live for the ancient classics like the Odyssey. I couldn't get enough of the plays like Arthur Miller's The Crucible. And you'll occasionally find me curled up in my favorite reading spot at home with the newest Cynosure, which is the only book I seem to read outside of class. But my love of the arts doesn't stop there. No, sir. I also love music of all kinds, actually. Not many of you remember this, but I was quite the talented violin player back in the day. Not only was I a headliner at the Gilman Middle School Winter Show, I was also asked, really begged, to perform a violin solo in the 5th grade versus 4th grade soccer match. According to Madame Georges, I'm still the only kid to ever play and perform in that match. But I don't expect you to believe me or my violin skills, so believe your ears. Sounds pretty good thus far. This is my teacher. You will definitely hear when I come in. All right, that's enough. Finally, no one can call themselves a true lover of the arts unless they have a deep connection with art itself. And gentlemen, I assure you, I am deeply connected to art. As a child, I delighted in the originality displayed in some of the world's most famous museums. I marveled at the BMA, that's the Baltimore Museum for Arts for the lacrosse guys, and at the Walters. I spent so much time at these institutions that I was on a first-name basis with the docents. A docent is a knowledgeable individual, often a volunteer, who guides visitors through exhibits, offering educational insights and enriching their experience. Again, that was for the lacrosse guys. The message I'm trying to portray through my personal art has focused on oil paintings. And for the last few years, my work has centered on one specific theme. The message I'm trying to portray through my personal work is an obvious one. Don't go to art class hungry. And then number 6, what Uncle Sawyer wants from you. At the beginning of my remarks today, I quoted John F. Kennedy's asking what we could do for our country as opposed to what our country could do for us. That question was also raised by the United States government during World War I, when Uncle Sam wanted you. Now, here's what Uncle Sawyer wants from you. Take the road less traveled. When everyone seems to be going in one direction and you somehow feel pulled the other way, go that way. For me, that was probably last summer when I had the opportunity to go to South Africa as an exchange student for 6 weeks. I met some cool people, ate some pretty disgusting food, actually. For reference, that is chicken feet on the left and a sheep's head on the right. And that's a real menu. But also, I got to see and experience a part of the world I knew nothing about from a whole different vantage point. Should I have thought twice about jumping off a bridge with the only thing separating me from grim death being a rubber band attached to my ankle? Maybe. But as I said, the road less traveled. My final words are these. As I've made it clear in this presentation, if you follow the Sawyer 6, there's a good chance you can be anything you want to be. A cobbler, a world-famous humorist, or even a caddy. And I promise you, everyone that follows the Sawyer 6 will become a man that carries glory on his shoulders. Thank you.